Pedophile sex offenders re-offend at a high rate. The ones from Epstein's Island are walking around free. Where are they now? Hello, my friends, and welcome back to What They Don't Say. And once again, we've got a story for you that's based in fact. It's just for the thinkers. Nobody is talking about this. And it's what the central part of the story of the Epstein debacle should be about. Like I say, this channel is not going to be for everybody, because there's a lot of people that are already so controlled by media and the narratives that they hear, they're not going to think outside the box that their head is already in. This is for the people that want facts, look at the facts, consider the facts, weigh them against their own intelligence, and then form an opinion. Right now, we got this big brouhaha stirred up because of the lack of prosecution in the Epstein case. But Trump is spinning this and trying to say that it's all about the release of the files. I don't give a rat's ass if I see the files. I want prosecutors to see them, and I want them going to court. I don't need to see them, okay? I can't throw anybody in prison. It's not about the files. It's about the government sitting on evidence and letting thousands of pedophiles go free just because they are people of substance, people with connections to politicians in D.C., people who are titans of industry or connected to titans of industry. We've got a royal class in America that escaped prosecution for crimes that others would go to prison for. This is what we're upset about. These victims are still alive. Do not tell us that you can't prosecute because the files are all corrupted because Obama and Biden wrote them. Mr. Trump, with all due respect, that line is bullshit. These people are still alive. The witnesses are still alive. The victims are still alive. Start there. Prosecute these guys. We've got girls that are damaged for life. We make a big deal out of prosecuting illegals and other human traffickers. And you're letting the worst of the worst go simply because they're in the wealthy class? Simply because they're connected? This is what we're tired of. We don't give a shit about the files. If you want to play the games with the files and say, oh, no one can see them, we don't know what we can trust, you got an FBI, have them verify them. This is what investigations do. I don't care, I don't need to read them. Prosecutors need to read them, and people need to be prosecuted. Here's the problem. The people that were going to Epstein Island are pedophiles. Pedophiles have a high rate of recidivism. They do it over and over again. You don't fix those people. People that are sexually attracted to kids, that's a mental illness that you don't just fix by throwing them in prison for 18 months. You sure as hell don't fix them by turning them loose. These guilty people from Epstein Island debacle, they aren't even on a sex offender list. Their names are hidden. Our government is still hiding them. They're refusing to prosecute them. The most basic punishment these people get is to wind up on a list, even if they don't go to prison. They get probation and they wind up on a list. These people aren't even named. They are totally free to fly anywhere, go anywhere, do anything with anybody, and no one will even know there's a danger. These people can't be fixed. Epstein Island got shut down, right? Do you think that stopped them from being perverts? No. They just go somewhere else. Those people have a society. It's a dark society on the fringe of reality and the fringe of our real lives. And they know each other. They're connected. The people that were going to Epstein Island had told each other about it. They've got a society of pedophiles. They know where to go next. They might not have the bastion of joy that they had at Epstein Island, but they're scattered places. We hear about this all the time. There's busts here and there all the time, but not the big guys. You'll hear about some school teacher that had a bunch of videos on his computer. You hear about the weird pervert that lives in mom's basement that got busted with a bunch of weird stuff. But there's people that have enough cash they can fly anywhere in the world, like a lot of the foreigners that flew into Epstein Island, like the royalty that flew into Epstein Island. There are people that can afford to go where they want. That's been a big problem kind of a hush problem for years about Thailand and the Dominican Republic. The wealthy people that can fly there and abuse children and come back untouched. They get away with it. Where are the pedophiles of Epstein Island going now, and why isn't anybody asking? These people are not cured. This is why they need to be prosecuted. They've already got victims. They should be prosecuted just for that. That is enough. We cannot let people who abuse trafficked minor girls go free. I don't care about your files, Mr. President. Do you hear this? We want prosecution. It's not about us being able to be the jury of the couch, sitting at home. Nobody's going to read tens of thousands of pages, okay? That's your job. It's your job to have the AG do it. She's got 80,000 employees. Pam Bondi can put a team together for this. I shouldn't even have to be saying this. It is wrong to let pedophiles go free. They're getting a get-out-of-jail-free card before they even go to court. Get out of charges free. How's that? We need a new one on the Monopoly table. Don't worry, you're not even going to be talked to. This is wrong. This is why people are upset. This is not going to go away. It's a dark stain on this administration because people want justice. We are tired of decades of no corruption, no elites getting charged. And now we've got a whole bunch of them involved in one case. I can understand Trump not wanting to blow things up. And I'm sure there's people from both parties and a lot of governments. If that's the case, let the chips fall where they may. We have a choice. We can be a nation, a person, a world that condones that if you're rich enough to get away with it, or we can be a world that believes in protecting children and justice for all. And when we're turning these pedophiles loose and not even charging them, kids are not protected. They've got new victims somewhere else. Right now, today, over the last weekend, the coming weekend, tonight, children are going to be abused by these same people. That's what we care about, Mr. President. It is still going on because nothing has been done to stop it, and you're telling us nothing is going to be done. I hope you're getting some of value out of listening to the video because we really do focus on what they don't say. And there's always a lot that's not being said. Like I said, this channel is just for the thinkers. I understand that. People who already have their minds made up or just follow whatever they're told, this isn't going to appeal to them. But we need to build a following of the people who can actually think for themselves for a change. So I hope you'll take the time to like, comment, subscribe. You hit the little thumbs up button, that does a lot for us. Sending us comments, that does a lot for us. Subscribing, heck yes. All they do is notify you when we've got something. They don't force you to watch it. So please, it's a lot of work getting all this stuff done. So we appreciate your help. There is so much BS going around about this story, like the Dan Bongino story. We don't know if Bongino's going to quit. He hasn't said so. Everything is all based on him and Bondi had an argument. A lot of co-workers do. He hasn't walked. He hasn't said he's going to. I hope he does. I hope Cash Patel does too if this isn't straightened out because, Mr. President, you have left a firestorm behind on this one. It isn't crazy lefties that want this thing prosecuted. It's not about the file. Stop telling us it is. Stop telling us it's about Epstein. It's about the pedophiles that went to Epstein's Island. Do not distract us. Because the thinkers are not getting distracted. The people who just chase after everything the media says, yeah, you're going to fool them. But you're not fooling the thinkers. Mr. President, we believed in you. You've still done a lot of great things. But this is not one of them. This is a travesty. A textbook travesty. It's not only a miscarriage of justice, this is justice denied. It is not right to pick and choose who gets prosecuted and who doesn't based on their social position and wealth. And that is exactly what we're seeing. This is not about the files. Do I need to say it again? These people are out there abusing kids because they haven't been fixed. That is one of the hardest mental issues to cure in a patient. Recidivism rate of pedophiles is one of the highest. This is well known. Nobody is getting fixed. Nobody's getting punished. And the girls, the victims that went through this and see this happening today, they see the response of the DOJ, the government today. They see our president, who we've had an extreme amount of loyalty to. We have stood by him no matter what attack he was hit with. Everything. We have stood by him. And now he's thumbing his nose at us. That's how it makes us feel. The first reaction when he decided he better do some damage control, the full-page letter where he's blaming this all on Obama and Biden. No, we're not buying it. They're gone now. We got rid of that faction. We elected you. Hillary didn't get locked up. Pelosi hasn't even been charged. Biden family is getting off. Hunter isn't even discussed anymore. Everything goes away if you're connected, and we are sick of it. If you're connected, everything goes away. Mr. President, this is not what we voted for. We want equal justice under the law. No matter who you are in society, if you commit such an egregious crime, by God, you need to be in prison. You at least need to be charged and go through the process. None of these people are getting help. And we got girls probably crying themselves to sleep at night. They're going to have mental issues all their lives because they were trapped, and evidently now it's with the approval of government. I refuse to accept that. That doesn't mean that I'm not a Trump supporter, but on this one, you've blown it. Everybody will disagree with their families, their friends, their children, their spouses, but you still love them, you still support them. Mr. President, that's where we're at because you're blowing it on this one. The only way this is going to go away is if you tell us that you are going to order Pam Bondi to investigate and prosecute. The witnesses are still alive. The victims are still alive. This is not going to go away by telling us it's about the files. Epstein's already dead. We don't even know if he's dead anymore, and a lot of people don't believe he is. We don't believe that he committed suicide. And now this. It's a little troubling that Trump has never picked a good AG. Not in the first 4 years, and surely not now. She might have his support. She doesn't have ours. Why hasn't Pam Bondi mentioned that these people are still out there? Why don't you mention it, Mr. Trump? These people are still out there. I've listened to media on both sides beat this story up for years. Nobody talks about the fact these pedophiles are still out there. Where are they going now? Somebody needs to answer some questions on this, but like I said, this is just for the thinkers. Give us your comments. This is very important because this is being ignored. If you got an opinion on this, for God's sake, please send us a comment. We need that. It helps us grow too. Like and subscribe if you're getting anything out of this. We've got building a small body of videos now in this new platform. Go back and look at them because everything that we do, everything we produce, it's what they don't say. It's the things that should be considered in every issue that comes up that never gets talked about because party media and politicians bury the facts. They bury the truth. They cover everything with spin. Like this spin about this trouble now being about the files. It's not about the files. It's about prosecution. If we get this right, maybe God will continue to bless this great country of ours. Right now, I'm wondering if he should, if this is what we're going to accept.